Interview 0 o'clock. The mayor rarely faces the media. Head on most loaded questions get punted to her defense lawyer on WGN News, that attorney argues. Keith Freeman compromised Henyard's safety by pulling her security detail, but legally. Once she fires Freeman, his role ends, so how is she now in danger? She literally created this mess herself. Meanwhile, are prosecutors pressuring him to flip and build a case against her? Not officially. Right now it's all about that removed security team. And this isn't the first time Henyard has made public safety the headline while the rest of us just try to get by together. Why can't we stand united? Why aren't we rising right now? Listen close, no interruptions. Just her, laying it all out bluntly. Henyard called an emergency meeting this Wednesday after the board passed cost-cutting ordinances last week targeting event expenses. ABC 7 aired footage from August 20th via the Lansing Journal. In it, she demands, why are we under media scrutiny? For loving people, for reminding them they matter? We walk through fire for them. Shame on you for being black and tearing down a powerful black woman. The motion to remove Freeman passed on. She announced his dismissal last night. But some board members are now quietly distancing themselves. I'm breaking my silence today to expose Thornton Township Supervisor and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, someone who, in my opinion, has acted in unethical, even predatory ways since taking office. That's from Carmen Carla via email. Ever seen a sleepy town spiral into political madness? Dalton, Illinois, might be America's wildest local scandal. At the center, Mayor Henyard. Her name is blowing up, tied to polarizing power plays and stories that make veteran politicians squirm. It started with a bombshell ordinance linked to her re-election campaigns, lashing the mayor's salary from $225,000 to $25,000 if she loses, but keeping it full if she wins. That triggered deeper dives, and what emerged is shocking. This isn't just campaign drama, it's a disturbing pattern. She's reportedly connected to a cancer awareness group illegally advertised on state highways. And the police chief, in investigating that, uncovered more. A viral tweet accused her of hiring a registered child sex offender, overpaying loyal officers as private security, and spending hundreds of thousands in taxpayer money on questionable salaries. One officer supposedly earned $133,000 in 2 weeks, claiming 300 overtime hours. Impossible. And financial transparency. Non-existent, no audits filed since 2021, 0 verified books. That's where the real danger is. When pressed, Henyard stays silent. Her lawyer takes over. He claims removing her security put her at risk. The public remains unconvinced. This is a town of just 20,000 people. Was it really about her safety or about maintaining power? Rumors swirl that prosecutors are pressing former insiders to flip and expose her. Yet Henyard continues playing the victim card. She recently invoked MLK May, called herself his dream, and lamented the community's division intended to rally, but instead left the room cold. In a shocking twist, her former ally, Thornton Township trustee Carmen Carolell, has now publicly turned on her, accusing the 41-year-old of predatory ethics. The supermayor image is cracking. Carolell's official statement, I can no longer stay silent about Thornton Township Supervisor and Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. I believe she's used unethical and predatory tactics throughout her administration. She claims that over the past 2 years, Henyard manipulated staff, vendors, residents, boosting her influence while pretending to lead a successful administration funded by hardworking taxpayers. Carolell, from a Chicago suburb, says Henyard has taken corruption further than anyone, calling her perhaps America's most outrageous and corrupt politician right now, even compared to George Santos. I first heard Tiffany Henyard's name when I came across that infamous ordinance, the one slashing the mayor's salary from $225,000 to just $25,000 if she loses re-election. But if she wins, she keeps the full 6-figure payout, no questions asked. That right there, that's when I knew something wasn't adding up. So I did what any curious mind would do. I started digging, and what I found, that salary stunt, was just the surface. Underneath, a deep, messy spiral of corruption that swallowed the whole town of Dalton. Take a drive through Dalton, Illinois, and you'll spot signs for a cancer awareness nonprofit that's tied directly to Henyard. an organization that, by law, shouldn't even exist in the form it's operating. But when the village police chief started looking into that so-called charity, it opened the floodgates. What followed was a series of bombshell discoveries. One viral tweet said it best: "Salute to whoever posted it." They called Tiffany Henyard one of the most corrupt public officials we've seen in a long time, and they weren't wrong. She allegedly hired a registered child sex offender, overpaid hand-picked officers who doubled as her personal bodyguards, and moved like she was running a private empire, not a small village of just 20,000 people. One officer reportedly made $133,000 in just 2 weeks, claiming over 300 hours of overtime. 300 hours in 14 days. Do the math, it doesn't work. Not unless time travel's involved. The numbers aren't just off, they're insulting to anyone with a brain. For months, her luxury travel and sketchy spending slipped by without resistance. Why? Because people trusted the office. People hoped she was the real deal. That trust, gone, burned to ashes. And I'm not speaking just for myself. I'm speaking for the folks who were silenced, fired, misled. Folks still too scared to come forward. So when Carmen Carroll finally broke ranks and told her truth, that wasn't just bravery, that was survival. And let's be real, she knew what kind of blowback was coming. The moment Carroll spoke up, Henyard went on the attack. Just like clockwork, she slapped the label Lion Carroll on her former ally, doing what she always does, shifting the blame. "You were on the board," Henyard snapped. "Why didn't you say something then?" The mask slipped. The cool, media-trained act started to unravel. The courtroom calm. Gone. She was heated, and it showed. The pressure finally cracked. Her shell. She tried spinning it, accusing Carroll of not doing her trusty job, but Carroll didn't flinch. She came with receipts. "I stayed quiet because I believed in you," she said. "But when you went on national TV and acted like you didn't know about the foundation, that's when I knew I was in the room, Tiffany. I heard it all. You even showed up at my house, uninvited, trying to make me lie for you. The truth spilled out, and it hit like a hammer." But Carroll wasn't alone. Trustee Chris Gonzalez had been waving red flags since day one. He tried to get answers, demanded transparency, asked for accountability, over and over again, ignored. So on August 15th, he called a special board meeting. Not just another gathering, this was war. On the agenda, 6 brand new ordinances that would finally limit Henyard's unchecked control. Salary slashes, travel bans, credit card restrictions, a full shutdown on using village funds for personal gain. This was never just about slowing Tiffany Henyard down. No, Gonzalez and Carroll were done playing nice. They weren't trying to warn her anymore. They were aiming to end her entire reign. And the irony? It all began with Gonzalez himself. Yep, he's the one who nominated Henyard in the first place. At the very last minute, like literally right before midnight, what looked like a surprise choice was actually a long-running plan hiding in plain sight. Henyard wasn't some sudden frontrunner. She was the backup plan waiting in the wings. A source close to the board says her appointment was no accident, that late-night nomination. It was deliberate, pushed through in the final hour, before the board could fracture or the public could speak up. To some, it felt less like democracy and more like a warning shot. Time was running out, tensions were high, and Gonzalez made a desperate move to avoid a public vote. When asked about her overnight promotion, Henyard was glowing. "Oh, ma'am, I'm overjoyed," she said. "Didn't see this coming. I love it. That means I'm truly blessed and everybody loves me." But outside those cameras, not everyone was buying the act. To many Dalton residents, the whole thing reeked of backroom deals. One local said, "It's heartbreaking. Our seniors are rationing food while Tiffany lives like she's on a reality show." Another added, "She's treating taxpayer money like it's her personal cash app." Sure, Gonzalez and Carroll might have had their own reasons for speaking out. But what's clear now? Henyard's grip on power is slipping. Fast, in a last-ditch attempt to save face, she tried rushing through a stack of suspicious invoices. From the finance department, these documents could expose everything, and she knew it. But Gonzalez slammed on the brakes. Ever since Keith Freeman blew the whistle and got fired, Henyard's been scrambling, replacing him with loyalists. Keith Price without the board's sign-off. Gonzalez stood firm, calling out Price's lack of authority to handle sensitive records. Henyard pushed back, first saying no approval was needed, then awkwardly claiming Price already had it. It was a mess. She tried to force a vote to push the invoices through anyway, but by then the tide had turned. Trustees Jones, Carl, and Gonzalez were locked in, and they voted to launch a full investigation. Henyard stood alone. The motion passed, and just like that, her political armor cracked. Now the investigation is heating up, and every day brings more receipts. The people of Dalton are watching, taking notes, and asking the right questions. Tiffany Henyard's empire isn't just shaky, it's collapsing. If this deep dive gave you the real story, make sure you hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and smash that subscribe button. This isn't just a scandal, this is history unfolding in real time. And we're here to break it all down, piece by piece.